Hello, this is Pastor Matthew Ball from Faith Apostolic Church, and I'm here today with Felicia Miller from Greater Purpose Counseling. And I want to tell you about a very important event that is coming up this fall. On September 16th and 17th, we are having a training event here for all pastors, ministers, lay leaders, basically anyone who is in leadership position in the church about a very important subject. And Felicia, why don't you just tell us a little bit about some of the things you're going to be covering?
Yes, sir. So we are going to be covering topics on abuse reporting, what to do. So if someone comes to you and says, I'm being abused, and they're a minor by someone in the church or their family or someone they don't know, what are the steps that you would do to protect yourself from being sued, civilly from the church being sued? Other topics including domestic violence and what to do in response when someone comes to you and says they're struggling with suicide ideation. Other topics that would include attachment, documentation, because documentation is everything. If you want to be able to go to court if something comes up, the judge is going to side with victims if there's no documentation. So someone could say, I came to Pastor Ball, I came to Sister Ball, and I told you I was being abused. And if you don't have documentation that shows that, they're not going to believe that you guys called. They're going to believe the victim. And then that opens a whole nother door. So we want to help you have documentation and training to help yourselves to be protected.
This is so important because as a pastor, a lot of these things I didn't know.
Right.
I didn't know what my responsibilities were.
And we don't have the tools.
Yeah.
We don't have the tools to know how to document that, and that's what you're going to help us with. So.
Yeah, because there's such a divide. Like the churches don't have the trainings that us clinical people have. The clinical people, we've been in this world for years and we understand it. We go to court. We face this all the time. But the churches, the world is in your guys' pews and they're bringing new problems that y'all have never faced before. And so we want to give y'all the skills to be able to not only help them, but protect yourself in the process.
Outstanding. So if a minor came to me and said, Pastor, I need to tell you I'm being abused by someone, there are a lot of legal ramifications if I don't follow certain procedures, correct?
Yes, absolutely.
And these are the sorts of things you're going to be telling us in this training event. So important for us.
Right. And Sister Felicia has been such a blessing to Faith Apostolic Church. She has given us so much guidance in all of these areas because people are broken nowadays and we're all trying to do the best that we can, but we also want to cover the church and make sure we're doing everything the correct way. And that's what she helps us with.
So we want to invite you, come and be a part of this. Pastor, minister, lay leader, department leader, children's pastor, youth pastor, all of these areas of church leadership. These are tools that you really need to have in your hand. Number one, to make sure that we are a hospital for souls, that we are ministering to people in need. But secondly, unfortunately, we are in a sue-happy world, and people are looking for an opportunity to bring some accusation against the church that we didn't handle something properly. And I'm afraid a lot of us pastors, we don't know how to handle it properly.
And not just being sued, but also the media getting a hold of something and saying, why didn't you report this? You knew and you didn't report this. And we've got to be able to make sure that we know how to handle things.
Absolutely. And the documentations will help you with that, because you'll be able to say, because you sign everything, you fill everything out, you'll be able to look, we did do this. This is what we did. This is the follow-up. This is what we recommended. This is when we're going to meet with them again. So then it shows your guys' actions instead of the lack of actions.
Awesome. So will you also be covering things such as how to help us identify when there are certain situations? Like, as a pastor, nobody's ever really trained me on how to identify if someone is being abused. There's certain signs that...
There's so many things now that are coming through our pews, through our doors, that we've never dealt with before. So we don't even know.
Yeah, there'll be one of the sections, because it'll be a 2-day training, and we will break them down into different segments, and then we will also have role playing. So, because clinical world, we do role playing so we can practice, but we want to be able to do that with you guys also. So we'll break everything out and give you guys case studies that are made up, and how would you respond? How would you see something?
Excellent.
But one whole section will be, what does abuse look like if you're the perpetrator? If you are the person being abused, because most people, like you said, they don't know what they're looking at. And a person who's a perpetrator, who is truly a narcissist, they blend right in. You don't even realize it, and they earn the trust of everybody, which is where the background checks come in. Like, they're just so valuable, because if you go to court and they're like, well, why didn't you do a background check?
Background checks.
Yes.
We're supposed to do background. Pastor, minister, I want to invite you, come and be part of this very important training.
Right.
We want to be equipped to minister the needs of our community, as well as make sure that we're doing things properly, legally, and in a way that's protecting the interests of the church.
Right.
Yes.
God bless. We hope to see you in September.